based. Fuck you, file it.
Well, that's just not very nice.
As you know, my name is Grindhead Jim. I am surrounded by my friends Grant Beard.
I am surrounded by idiots.
Ritter and Bennett Fiasco. How are you guys doing?
Obviously, we're going crazy.
Just great.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bennett
just
can't play. Susan's going crazy, which is nothing new. I got to
That's a
play with the
short trip,
Scorcher, so I'm going crazy.
Crazy's a short trip for me.
So this one's going out live. We've done it live before, but for the first time, we are live with gameplay. But
What?
yeah, it's gonna be fucking cool. I am. My body is very, very ready. I don't know about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is that you have a boner.
That's not what I'm saying.
No. It's called we're sick and tired of the current content. We want something freaking new.
Look, he just said his body was ready, so I just made the assumption from there.
Of course I'm a ray of sunshine. When am I not a ray of sunshine? Somebody tell me this.
Crota.
I feel like Jimmy died from sheer stupidity.
He might have.
You
Maybe.
guys.
So we had topics, right?
We did. So this week, the Nightfall this week.
Pain.
Yes.
Total utter pain.
It was Omnigul.
It was Omnigul with
Omnigel,
fuck all for
yeah.
burns.
I tell you, Omnigul, she's always been a bit of a raging cunt, but she's a bit more raging and a bit more cunty this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very big false sense of security for me on this one, because I two-manned it with one of my good friends, Chargerhawk, and we made relatively short work of the bitch.
Right.
And then every other Nightfall I attempted, which was another probably 4, it was not easy.
No.
And poor Grant. Poor Grant. Poor suffering Grant. My dearest Grant, I'm so sorry. It was bad. You were just like, it was not fun. It was.
I'm gonna say these damn kids are not taking their time and.
Yeah, and it wasn't just us taking our time. She just decided not to die.
Yeah,
it's fucking rude.
I was gonna say we were sitting there with like 100% full on machine guns in her face. Didn't make a lick of difference.
In her
at
face.
All. In her face.
In
her face meats.
There was much facing and killing with the faces.
Her face meats.
I don't know about that one.
I was going to make a lamp out of her face. I needed face meats. Although I'm afraid if I made a lamp out of her face, every time I turn it on, I'd hear that shrieking sound.
Oh.
Well, that's just faulty workmanship on your part. Oh, God. So, this is the reason I bring up the Nightfall, as we do every week, but this one in particular, this is the last Nightfall before House of Wolves. Mm-hmm. Unless you're a real idiot on Tuesday morning and play Nightfall before
don't do that.
House of Wolves. No, because that's stupid. And Bennett, why would we not want to do the Nightfall the morning that the House of Wolves drops? So, like, what possible reason could there be to not do that?
You don't get the new stuff, man.
Because House of Wolves?
New stuff.
Exactly.
Man.
Well, I know that. I want you to explain to our humble, loyal viewers.
But yes,
oh, they're very
humble.
humble.
The royal man.
Well, they don't have to be humble because there are viewers and they're awesome. So, and I've been saying that for years. So, even though the podcast is only a few months old, viewers of my content are awesome. You know that. We love you. But ultimately, that's the main thing. There's so many ways to get the new gear relatively quickly. We're going to go over that as we go over the patch notes. Bennett, you have the patch notes in front of you. Do you not?
Yes, I do.
Can you pick out a highlight or two and we can discuss them as we go along, please?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. What was one of the first things that I saw? They fixed White Nail.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so Hive Disruptor and White Nail are finally fixed on the Black Hammer as well as in other places, because I didn't even know that Hive Disruptor was not working properly, which would explain a lot of the vaulted glass issues I've been having.
Didn't realize that either. Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you don't read or watch anything, so I'm not surprised.
No. I didn't realize that it was not working properly either, so.
Right. And that's the
Like,
thing.
I never...
Like that's one of those glitches that they don't tell you it's not working. You just go, oh, it's glitching, and you don't. It's nondescript, non-specific. It's glitching. I just know it's glitching. It's not working.
Yeah.
That's what I say anyway.
You just have to be like that really ragey nerd who wouldn't know what you're talking about, and just make it totally known to Bungie and go, hey, you guys are screwing up. No, we're not. Yeah, you are, and I can prove it. Oh, maybe we are.
So there.
Right. Right, and the Hive Disruptor perk is basically back up and running, because it wasn't even in the Black Hammer perk set. It wasn't working correctly with the sustained damage events, so like auto rifles, pulse rifles, that sort of thing. And it triggers more often, but it does less damage each time. But that's okay, because it's working now. Kind of the same thing with the Oracle Disruptor. The perk just triggers more often. So that's good. Weapons starting to work again.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a really, really good thing.
That's awesome. Speaking of Black Hammer, I just fully upgraded mine.
Woo!
All right.
Is that code for something?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Suffice it to say, she's never going back.
I might not. Who needs a icebreaker when you have a big Black Hammer?
Code for Violet. No, not really. That was actually really good. That being said, so there's a few like minor fixes here. There's one that I remember that really leapt out at me. And it was one of the things you had mentioned before, Bennett, that the bastard Cryptarch will. There's a couple things coming out of this. One, there are certain engrams that the way they roll, he will not be able to decrypt them because the gear isn't in the game yet.
Right.
So, and Grant has confirmed that works for rares as well as legendaries. Is that right?
Absolutely. I've actually got 3 of them now that will not actually be decrypted. It's crazy.
And my concern was that you'd lose it and it just wouldn't get anything, but you just won't let you decrypt it.
Nope. I was gonna say it appears as you've got a quest turn in above the Cryptarch's head, and he's just like, "What? You want to turn that in? Well, too fucking bad. I'm a bastard." And basically, it just sits there. So right now, I've got 3 spaces in my vault that are being taken up, which isn't that big a deal, but it will be if it doesn't get fixed. I know it will. It's just a matter that they need to unlock the coding to allow for those new items to basically be decrypted by the Cryptarch.
And that's one of the many, locked features, if you will, at this time. We'll go over some more of the patches before we go over that stuff. Right. You, of course, have also the fact that the Cryptarch now will no longer decrypt legendary engrams into shards or ascendant materials of any kind. Mm-hmm. And you will no longer get shards from daily events. You will get motes of light. Right. And I'm assuming that will extend to public events as well. Meaning,
speaking of the daily, any of you guys online want to join up for that?
I'm doing the daily right now, actually, and I'm almost finished. So anyone who wants to join up can come in right now.
Give me 2 seconds. Anyway.
See, this is what we do with the Quotidian podcast and the C4DC. We help one another. For those of us that can get online, because some of us can't do that.
I was going to say, burn it.
Okay, that was really fucking weird.
But, so, I mean, there's a lot of, kind of corrections.
Hold on a second. That's really weird. Whatever your settings are, when I joined the fire team, you started coming out of my television, so I'm going to have to fix that.
Yeah, you're going to have to turn off your chat.
Yeah. Yeah, that scared the crap out of me for a second.
My voice in 2 places.
I was like, what?
Okay.
What you're talking about with the Cryptarch no longer making purple drops into shards, that's unlocking. That's one of those things that's not there. It's working in the back, but it's still not yet the case.
And that being said, but the fact that they are saying don't do any engrams, that's because I'm not going to be doing any engrams blue or above until that day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because why would I? Because new gear, right? So,
Right.
they're doubling all of the Crucible, and so forth. Like that's going live. It's, okay, I was going to make this a separate topic, but we're kind of blending them together at this point. Most of the stuff that's already live is just essentially patching issues that have been a thing, right? And everything else that's really a new feature will go live Tuesday with the House of Wolves, which basically means new gear for everybody ever. The speaker will be doing exchanges for Ascendant material with Glimmer. Now, someone had said that it's an exchange, meaning you can turn in them for Glimmer and you can buy them with Glimmer. I have got no confirmation that you can buy Ascendant material from the speaker. I haven't seen that anywhere.
I
Has
wouldn't
anyone
think
seen?
that they would do that.
I don't
but,
either.
The
I hope
patch
so,
notes
though.
say the speaker will now exchange Ascendant and Radiant materials for Glimmer and Motes of Bite. I have a feeling that doesn't mean the other way around.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was thinking, that you can turn in those things and get
Right.
Glimmer,
You can
but
cash
you
them
can't
out.
use
You just
Glimmer to
can't
buy
do it the
those
other way.
things.
Exactly.
I'll be there in a second, Jim.
Yeah, it's no big deal. There's hardly anybody there, so
I'm having a discussion with a couple of hobgoblins that are
you
upsetting
could
me
just jump
greatly.
past them. That's a thing. But
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about, once again, fundamental changes to the way the game is played. And I would say, by and large, if not universally, for the better. Like, even if this was just a patch and there was no new content to be dropped, hallelujah. So the player that is on the fence about buying an expansion pack or just bought the game for $28 this week, yes, it was on sale for $28 this week. Still is on sale for $28. If you don't have it, just go fucking buy it. Even if you don't have the console, just buy the fucking game because it's so fucking cheap. Then you'll be able to play it and kind of get a feel for what we've been, not had to deal with all this
What
time.
the shit? Get off the damn thing. Oh
And
my
also,
God.
as part of Crucible, you're already getting drops for the Trials of Osiris consumables that are like modifiers to your matches and stuff. Well, that's dropping now, and there's been confirmation of that already. So there's really just already we're seeing little trickles, little things, and the Queen's Emissary is in the tower, and she is, I want to call her a thing because that's not personifying her. Wait, let me finish. Don't you change up my gear? Don't do shit. The whole reason I'm doing this is for the XP. I am whoring the XP. Ladies and gentlemen, never forget to change out your gear because if you do, you will be an idiot like me. Because I do this shit all the time. Go ahead and finish the mission now. I am happy. Are you guys changed out? Are you good? Are you good?
Yep.
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
The modifiers are already dropping.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
For not the modifiers themselves, but coins or passes to buy them. Right. So the currency to buy them with are already dropping. The XP modifiers are not there. There's just a lot of things that aren't quite there yet. But I'm not upset about that at all. It's just so fucking cool that we now, because the upgrade path is going to be easier, and if you have stuff that you don't need to upgrade, because think about it, once you have the gear that you want from year one, as we're calling it, you really don't need those materials anymore. And if you've made the decision that you don't need it, then fine. Because basically, what I've said in a couple places is that once I get Alice to 34 and I get Misty to 34, I'm just gonna roll a hunter, roll Banshee into a hunter.
Shards.
Why not? It's about time.
Because I figure it's like, well, I got no reason not to, because the one thing I said about Hunter that I don't like is the way that they move, and there's actually exotic armor that will enable them for an additional jump. So if they have triple jump, you'll have quadruple jump, and so on.
Exactly.
So it's like, well, honestly, I think they should just patch the jump, but what the fuck do I know? I'm just a fat guy that plays Destiny.
I mean, and from somebody who has had all three for the longest of the group, get used to it. You figure out that, yeah, the hunter sucks, but if you need to be platforming, you're not going to play with your hunter.
Right.
You can still get most places. The only spot I have an issue getting still to this point is the snipey spot on the Nexus strike.
Right.
That's it. And I have issues with that on all of my characters.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things that you get used to. For instance, it didn't matter in the Omnigul strike. It didn't matter at all. It doesn't matter in Epics or the Priest. It doesn't, I mean, really, it's one of those things that, yeah, maybe walking around, you don't get to fly around as much as you did, but you get to go invisible, or you get a golden gun. Yeah.
That's a thing.
It's a
It is a
trade-off. I mean,
thing.
it's like every, you don't glide with a Titan, but you
Titans
fly,
don't
man.
glide.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing. I also noticed that when you go to turn things in now, everything's a lot more like there's actually a GUI for everything now, which I'm totally on board with. I think it's kind of cool.
I haven't seen it yet. It wouldn't even let me start the download of the update.
Oh, that's butts. That's so butts.
All right, where
So
am I
many
going to
butts.
turn this audio off?
What audio?
When you're coming through my TV.
Oh, go into settings.
Mm-hmm.
Audio.
Mm-hmm.
Chat volume.
Mm-hmm.
50% is the lowest you can make it, Jimmy.
Right. And
I think you might have to mute something on your end because I have it too.
Well, mute something on my end. Well, then I'll just go into a party and not invite anybody. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
There. Now
Yeah.
you can't hear me.
Nope, that's all better.
The things you have to do to fucking. I could just unplug the mic, but that's too easy.
Yeah, like I said, that was just really weird. I was not expecting that. It was a little
Right.
startling.
So moving on. What feature of all the patch notes we've read so far and some of the other things we've talked about in the past, what are you most looking forward to in terms of the modification of the game as it exists now without having new content?
Good question.
So,
I'm not
I
entirely
have my
sure,
moments.
actually.
I mean, overall, repeat the question once more, just so I can get it in
Okay.
my head.
The new material we're having, and
Uh-huh.
just in terms of, he's already selling telemetries, guys.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Nice.
What I was
Who
saying
is?
was the gunsmith sells telemetries now.
Art.
It's
I'll
pretty-
take it. So what things coming up am I most excited about that don't involve the actual new content? What fixes or patches or UI
Right,
control
basically anything
changes,
that
whatever.
modifies the game as it exists
Right.
today without adding any of the new modes.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of the patch notes that I'm seeing here I'm interested to see what it actually looks like. You said that there are already a lot of UI improvements.
Minor.
So
They're minor, but they
making
do enhance like the experience.
right. So just that feel of making the game seem more complete, more
Mm-hmm.
starting to being able to add polish, is something that's super cool. Also, no more shards. Really, thank you. Motes of light I can
Yeah.
at least trade in for engrams and get shards or something, you know.
And motes of lights are actually the currency you'll use to re-roll, which is one of the passionate things that you have with the new weapons moving forward.
Yeah.
Which
So
that leaves you 3 to 4 different economy items that you have to worry about now. Which in
As
a
opposed to
game like
12.
this, in a game like this, you don't need to have that many different things going on. I mean, the planetary items, the resources that you gain from those make sense. Aside from that, motes of light, exotic shards, and basically glimmer and strange coins. Those are the things that I think you should be caring about outside your marks. Now that's a whole different can of worms. But if you by them simplifying things more, it allows me to feel like I can go out and do something different other than the warlock, because honestly, the amount of stuff that you do need for even one character class does get kind of crazy, especially if you have a schedule which involves having an actual full-time job. Just putting it out there.
There's an actual new emblem, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just want to throw that out there.
What is it and who's got it?
The lady has it, and it's a sun, basically, but it's cool.
Oh,
It's
okay,
different.
yeah.
I've never
seen that one, yeah.
No. It's like a sun, but unless you were just there.
I was just there.
Okay.
So,
but yeah, it's the game is redesigning itself to be played rather than endured, and it's a very welcome change on every level I can think of, because I very much lamented the grind, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play it. I'm going to give it a try. And after, 3 months, I was like, I got to put it down. And granted, I had the PC, so it was easy to do that because I had something else to do. But it was difficult. I had to put it down because I didn't want to get tired of it, because I wanted to enjoy the game. And
I
Bungie understood
enjoy
that.
the grind when I'm like with you guys, or grouped with some of my other friends that are on the network. Like, that doesn't bother me doing bounties and dailies and stuff like that. It's when I'm doing it by myself and I'm just like, oh my fucking God.
Right.
And I've been dreading maxing out my Glimmer for the last couple of days, because I knew that I will need a ridiculous amount of Glimmer going into this. And I looked at my Glimmer just now, and it turns out that I have 13,000 Glimmer, so I actually am okay. I'm not that far off from maxing out. It'll just take me like an hour or two, and I'll be fine. So,
Sort of Crota, anyone?
That's funny. I'm still sitting at max Glimmer. I think I might be a couple hundred off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The cool thing.
To give, I'm looking at each character has the same thing. Like right now, I've got maxed armor. I've got, just on my Titans alone, 5 maxed out helmets, two maxed out gauntlets, 4 maxed out chest pieces, and 2 maxed out, boots. And then that, it's the same across all my characters. There's a ridiculous amount of maxed out armor that I've gotten rather recently. So all my upgrades have just been gone to shit because I've just upgraded the ever living fuck out of them. I don't know how it happened. I think it was because I was so focused on raid armor on Titans for so long that the diversity of my materials really went down. And I wasn't doing the dailies. I wasn't doing public events. So I wasn't gathering those materials the way that some people did. And I'm very grateful for those people having that opportunity. I don't have a surplus of that shit.
Right.
I don't
anymore. So from here on out, like, here's the part that really I love. You do the Vault of Glass, and you get anything extra, you can immediately transfer it to Glimmer. The raid now becomes your Glimmer farm. Which is that's phenomenal. Once I have a full set of raid gear for each character for the Vault of Glass, with very few weapon exceptions, I don't have any need to do it, but it is a fun raid, and knowing that I'll be getting money out of it, I'd rather take 2 hours and do that than take 2 hours and sit on Mars.
Right.
Yes.
And by the way, Bungie, don't you ever fucking patch my Mars Glimmer farm. I will end you. I don't think that's in any danger. I really don't.
No.
I think they realize there has to be at least one place you can get money, and that's a good trick and stuff.
Right.
Or they just need to make Glimmer not a thing or something. I don't know. Glimmer needs to be made more readily available if you're going to patch it. That's all I'm saying, because Glimmer's not that easy to come by.
We kind of discussed that the last time, and there's going to be things that will change with that big time.
Did anybody else notice that their fully upgraded Black Hammer now has a yellow ring around it? That should be one of those warm fuzzies, man. Finally.
Yeah, really.
All right.
You're like, moving on.
What's our next?
So basically, it's just kind of, okay, we're looking forward to all kinds of things. And at the end of the day, we've got all these features and these little tiny patches that are making up what will amount to a large update to the game on Tuesday, which will be dropping sometime around after they said 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
And it's a manual activation. So do not do any nightfalls before then. Do not do anything that has. Don't do rock playlists. Don't do any of that shit. So Bennett and I, and also Grant and Suze, were all like, "What the fuck are we gonna do that doesn't get relevant drops to pass the time? Like what the fuck?"
Right.
So what we're going to be doing, starting Monday night, and I will announce a time on Twitter and on my YouTube account once we have it nailed down. We are going to go through the entire vanilla story, the original level 1 to 20 story, at vanilla levels. No heroic, no nothing. We are going to make it our bitch as level 32s. We're going to take our best characters and our best gear, and we're going to remind ourselves what the feeling of power is before we get smacked. Before we get smacked.
Yes, we're going to remind
Tuesday.
ourselves that we are badasses until we realize that we're not badasses.
There is going to be a very sharp drop off Tuesday morning when we go back in, because I have a feeling we'll be able to go through most of the story Monday night, and then going into Tuesday, we are going to go out to breakfast
back in and
here
sob
locally.
Uncontrollably.
Yes, we will.
And after breakfast, we are planning to go back into the final story mission. It's the only story mission I have not completed with my Warlock. We're going to complete it at level 30, just for all the glimmer. And I also want to have the Stranger's Rifle. My goal is to then immediately, when everything drops, turn in all the bounties. Actually, we'd have to go do a Nightfall first, then do all the bounties, and then have that maxed out. That'll be my new Crucible weapon. So it's kind of like this thing we're doing. And then I would guess as soon as the Nightfalls are done, we're going to hop straight into the fucking story with whoever's online and just go to town. We will probably be running simultaneous streams. I haven't figured out exactly how we're going to do it, but I'll have it running. Bennett may have it running. Grant may have it running. We all may have streams running. You don't know.
Especially with my new internet.
Right, exactly. So it's just going to be an extravaganza up in this motherfucker. So if you're a Destiny player, but you don't feel like doing what we're doing, and you'd rather watch, you want to re-experience the story, there you go. Like, no one's really done a Let's Play of Destiny, and that's kind of what we're doing. So I never thought about it until just then. Wow, that dude looks like a Wookiee. Okay, but anyway. So come Monday night, which I'm going to be guessing, like, you're working, right, Bennett?
Yes.
Monday? Okay. So we probably won't start until about 7:30 Central Time would be my guess. We'll nail that down Monday, and I will announce it via YouTube and Twitter once we're ready to go. And we'll be starting story missions and having all kinds of fun and not having time to explain what we don't have time to explain.
Oh my God. Make it stop.
No.
Nope.
No.
Someone. Make it stop.
We will also not forget the eyes.
Well, we might.
That's it.
Nope.
That I think we can forget.
Nope.
No. Don't forget the eyes. That's a thing. Don't forget them. So I'm going to sit on a railing. This is me sitting on a railing. We've been doing this every day, this Destiny thing, and this has been a podcast. So it's a podcast about doing something every day, but we do the podcast weekly. So you can do that math if you want to. I really don't care. But for the podcast, I'm Grindhead Jim.
I'm Bennett Fiasco.
I'm Grant Baird.
I'm Suze.
Thank you so much for watching and for listening. We will see you guys back in the tower. Cheers.